Hi everybody, Frederique Began here. I'm doing a live from Durango, Colorado. I am here visiting a therapeutic wilderness program, and I've spent the day in the field with a group of adolescents, and have been really inspired and moved by them, and wanted to share a little bit with you about what this program is doing for them. And also what you can do to prevent your kids from needing this level of acute intensive care. As wonderful as a program like this is, none of us want to see our kids get to this place. So bear with me, I'm yelling because I'm standing next to this incredible river, which is rushing very loudly. So for those of you who are watching, let me know if you can hear me okay or not. Anyway, so I had the extreme privilege of getting to be in the field today with a group. I joined a group of adolescent girls, many of whom were scooped out of their beds in the middle of the night by what are called transporting teams. These are kids whose relationship with their families have broken down so significantly. Their care of themselves has gone down the drain completely, and in fact they typically are hurting themselves. They're at danger. And so their families will hire transporters, sometimes to grab them out of their beds at 2 a.m, because if they find out they're going to wilderness therapy, they'll run. And so they get transported, they get brought to Durango, Colorado in this case, and then they are immersed in the wilderness. They are literally camping, typically for about 12 weeks. Now, not all wilderness programs are the same. They're not all created equal. This is an exceptionally fantastic one. But the things they are doing with the kids in the fields, we can be doing at home. And it doesn't have to get to this level of acuity. That's the piece that broke my heart as I was talking with these girls, and they were sharing some of the things that had happened in their families and that they had done that landed them in this program. I was brokenhearted to think this could have all been prevented. For many of them, it was their first time in nature. Lots of them had no idea about clean eating. And so a lot of the things that this program is offering these kids now, which is allowing them to really reset, a lot of those things are what this group is about teaching and encouraging and supporting each other to practice the kinds of things that all human beings need to thrive. Human beings have lived in nature for far longer than we have lived in the society in the way that it is now. And we're really missing out on some of the things that give us optimal health and optimal relationships. So for example, this program really stresses organic eating. What you put into your body literally becomes your body and influences your mind. So that's something we can be doing at home. Spending time in nature is so incredibly grounding. That's something that most of us have access to right in our backyards. And if not, we typically don't have to travel very far. Get out in nature, show your kids the natural world, let them connect. Building self-efficacy is incredibly important. These kids have to rely on themselves and they have to rely on each other, and it is transforming. One of the most amazing things that I got to do today, and it took a lot of patience and a lot of effort, and I learned a lot about myself in the process, but I got to make a fire using nothing but a bow and a stick called a splint and a rock. Then wielding that thing back and forth until I got just the right coal, and I had to nurture that and encourage it to go into a fire was unbelievably transformative. And that's something that these kids all experience. They all learn how to make fires. They all learn how to cook over an open fire while they're doing deep emotional work that's guided by these incredible people, therapists who come out to see them in the field, and then their field guides who are so skilled and right there walking with them step by step. And that's our job as parents. If we're doing it right, we don't have to get to a place where we have to send our kids away for 12 weeks. Can you imagine that? Gosh, I can't even be away from my kids for 3 days without really missing them. The other thing that was really powerful and amazing, that was such a gift to me, is I got to do an hour-long guided meditation under a tent in the middle of the mountains, guided by an incredible man, and sitting surrounded by, there are boys adolescent groups, girls adolescent groups, and then there's a young adult group that's co-ed, and sitting among all of them and their field guides and meditating together. And I'll share in some later lives some of the things. As many of you know, I meditate every day, but my meditation practice was deepened and has evolved as a result of doing this practice today. So I'll share some of those things. But there are big things and small things that we can be doing at home that they're doing in the field with these kids. And I'm so inspired. Many of those things I already do with my kids, but I'm inspired to do more of them, and to do them with greater love and greater depth. So I'm really encouraging you all this week, pick one thing that you will start to do, that you will do more, that you will do differently. Are you going to replace conventional apples with organic apples? Are you going to practice a 5-minute meditation before bed? Will you commit to taking a walk in the woods with your kids this weekend, especially as the weather's getting more beautiful? Get out there, be in nature. Like I said, this program is incredible, and these kids are experiencing such a gift. And I think preventatively, we should all come to a program like this, but it should never have to get to the level where kids are cutting and drinking and hurting themselves and fighting with their families and getting plucked out of their beds at 2 a.m. to be transported to a place like this. That's just not necessary, and it's a function of our broken down society and our broken down families. So I am inspired to double down my efforts to really be there for my kids, and to bring some of these things into my family preventatively. And I really hope you will do the same. Please share in the comments one thing that you will commit to doing differently or more of this week. And your kids will thank you for it, maybe not now, but later. And you will have a transformative experience just from making that commitment and starting to make those changes and seeing what that brings out in your kids and what that does for your relationship with your kids. I hope you are equally inspired and moved as I am. I will certainly be sharing more stories of the lessons that I'm learning and taking away from my trip here. And for now, goodbye from Durango, Colorado, until my next live. Thanks for joining me, everybody. Take care.